Hi guys, Puddin here with the game for you on my Tier 10 US light cruiser, the Worcester, or as some people call it, the Rooster. Now, my captain skills are priority target, expert marksman, adrenaline rush, basics of survivability, superintendent, IFHE, and concealment. Now, my modules are going to be protect my main battery, longer lasting radar, longer shooting AA, faster get up and go, concealment, and faster reloading primary guns. As you can see, we are on the map Sleeping Giant, and we spawned on D side. This is the triangle domination map, or setup. And you know what, luckily for us, we kind of spawned right behind the island in a good spot. And the reason I kind of went to the left and then back to the right is because I wanted to make sure I can, when I turned left, I would have plenty of island to where I really didn't need to back up. I could just slow down, stop, and wait and see what's going on. Now, you can tell by the mini-map, my radar doesn't fully cover the ACAP, and this is a 5DD game. Now, to put myself in a position to where I could utilize my radar is going to really jeopardize my ship too, as we start opening up on the Des Moines, so he can't radar our friendly destroyers. I really can't sit at the corner where Des Moines do, and really to get into the channel is really too risky, you know, because we weren't fully aware of what the enemy is doing. Now, with the Bismarck and Des Moines going that way, kind of tells us that they're not going to be going heavy over here. I see the DD popped up. I immediately switched for target for him, and I start reversing. Now, I could have popped radar, but I figured if the DD has any sort of brain, he sees my shells coming, he's going to get out of radar range. I do not know why the Bismarck is coming down to a slow or stop, pretty much reduced his speed down to a quarter. But the whole point of me sitting at this island was to have the enemy push into me. That is one of the strengths of the ship. If they push into you, you can just obliterate them. There's no need for me to run out there like the other two gentlemen are doing, to just go out and die. Because there are so many DDs, you know what, my radar is going to be very important. You know, at the start of the game, yeah, you may be able to get somebody, but you're usually going to risk or sacrifice your ship. And you know, with very little information, it's sometimes not the best idea. But luckily for me, like I said, I didn't pop my radar, figuring the DD was going to, you know what, give me distance. Now, our Tago and Richelieu and our GK are moving up, but still, we have plenty of gunboat DDs that should easily be able to deal with the Shimakaze that was last seen over here. I'm just going to sit behind this island and continue to farm the Bismarck. For whatever reason, decided to turn back in. Set a fire on him, but, you know, I mean, this is just, you know, yum damage farming for the Rooster. I see the Des Moines pop back up, and you know, I got a fire going on the Bismarck, so you know what, let me spread my love and joy of burning love. Now I'm kind of taking shots where, guesstimating where Des Moines was, you know, he disappears to switch back to the Bismarck. I don't know why that guy came back in. I don't know why the DM, for whatever reason, put himself in a position to run aground. Like, he had to have known, you know, what was in front of him. You know, if you just pay attention to your minimap, what's spotted, what's not. I've never been spotted, but geez, there's something shooting a lot of a lot of IFHE around there, so it's got to be me. You know, the battleship and the Tigo, I'm sure, were spotted. You know, there were DDs in the area because we were capping and we put pressure on your destroyers, but I'm just trying to take care of this DM for our destroyers. Our destroyers have done a very nice job on pushing the shimmy away as my shells finally finish off the Des Moines, and I feel it's time I need to start motoring and kind of stick with the group here. There's no reason for me to run out in the open. I'm just trying to look at the mini map and, you know, deal with what I see going on. I more or less deal with what's in front of me and then move on from the situation that's in front of me. I figured if the DD is still to the south, there's a Fletcher down there to deal with them. The Hidalgo is relatively close to them. Really shooting at range at a destroyer in this thing is maybe not the best idea. Even at like 9-10 kilometers, you know, a little bit of movement, he's going to avoid most of your shells. But I mean, like I said, I usually, you know, deal with what's in front of me. Then that's when I look at the mini map and decide what I want to do. But I am always paying attention to the mini map, just in case, you know, the situation in front of me is not the biggest threat. DD pops up, situation, need to deal with it. So I'm going to turn back in towards the channel to try to help out our destroyer with this guy. I want to close the distance so I can use my radar if this gentleman tries to smoke or go unspotted. I'm not going to pop my radar until he goes unspotted and my shells have, you know, stopped coming down. Because, you know what, you just never know what could happen as my shells come down, finish off the DD, and I didn't have to use my radar. Now this is, I will probably say, the biggest difference between Sneaky and myself is I usually just see what's in front of me, deal with it, move on. Sneaky looks at everything and tries to deal with situations that are starting to develop and tries to stop them. He's a little bit better at it, to where, you know what, I deal with in front of me. I see a problem starting to unfold, but I'm like, you know what, I need to deal with the problem that is in front of me right now, and that's what I'm going to deal with. To where Sneaky sees, well, I need to go deal with this problem before it becomes a big problem. I'll deal with like the second problem after it's already become a problem. Unless, of course, it's an immediate threat to me. But, of course, you know what, like this Yamato, really what I was thinking was, oh, this Yamato's going to push in. He's going to push into me. I'm going to be able to sit behind these islands. And I'm just going to be able to farm him. No, I'm thinking maybe it's possibly the shimmy to the south of me. And I'm going to be wrong on that fact. It is not going to be him. We will find out soon enough who is the gentleman spotting me. But instead of just sitting there and letting the Yamato get free shots in on me while I was spotted, you might as well move. The island, you know, really is no longer safe. There's no point in just sitting there trying to farm something that, for whatever reason, the destroyer decided to smoke up in front of, because, yeah, I wonder who was spotting him. Don't understand why DDs do this. I don't even know why he's still sitting in his smoke. Just sitting there waiting is bad. You don't know what's coming at you. You're just in your smoke, waiting. You're hoping somebody else will spot them. And you know what? Like, if you're in that situation, you do that, just don't sit there. Look, there's a Mogami now barreling down on you, and that is the last thing you want to see on a destroyer. You better pray he has 203s and not 155s. But even at the end of the day, he may have hydro, and you know what? He's just going to ruin you. Now, instead of shooting on the Mogami, I'm trying to start fires on the Yamato, dealing with him, because it's still going to take multiple shots to kill either one of these two. I might as well deal with the guy who's the lower threat, whose DCP's out, before I move on to the Mogami, which is why you saw me shoot at the Yamato until I got a fire. Just missed out on the double strike there, but hey, you know what? Job well done. Now, of course, I'm spotted. I'm pushing our cap. Of course, I'm going to have the radar going, you know what, just in case, because I'm going to push our cap to try to get rid of whatever it is. And it was the gearing that was spotting me, and he was spotting me while he was moving towards our cap. Now, luckily for us, he was doing some maneuvering, slowing down when this guy dropped his torpedoes. That really has, that was more or less luck more than like, oh look, I just evaded your torpedoes. It was bad luck for him, good luck for me. But here's the situation. I can deal with the gearing later. The bigger threat to me right now is the Hindenburg. The gearing's already dropped his torp. His pew-pew isn't going to be enough pew-pew to, you know what, just outright kill me. The Hindenburg's pew-pew, if it's played well, can just outright kill me. The guy's staying somewhat angled, which means he's got somewhat of a brain. I'm trying to stay angled. He did switch to his AP, which means I can't maintain keeping all of my guns to bear on him. But this guy is pushing into me. I got my hydro going. And really what I have to deal with is making sure I avoid these torps. Now I'm switching AP because, you know what, I need to deal with this guy in a relatively quick fashion. And you know what, he's starting to show me enough sight. I'm trying to aim under the front guns, but luckily for me, it doesn't matter. You throw enough AP at it, and you're really going to do some damage. The guy was close enough to where my AP was going to do it. I did focus that fighter to shoot the fighter down. And it's really at this point of the game where I didn't even know I was sitting on 4 kills. Somebody in chat's going to call out, you know, unleash the Kraken. But what I'm trying to do is just delay coming out. I know the guy's got me spotted, or not spotted. I know he's got me located, but there's no reason to rush out. I'm gonna try to wait for maybe him to send his torpedoes. Slow play this a little bit. But what I want to do is actually turn and start running away because he has to come to us if he wants to take this cap. I believe the Zal was pinging the map on where he last was. And, you know what, I'm just playing, you know, a little bit maneuvering games. Luckily for me, the delay also allowed to where if I did get spotted while I'm making my move to either push or to run, that I would be able to radar him. Now, I'm going to stay bow in because I don't know if he dropped his torpedoes, but a USDD shooting at you means, well, it's not dropping his torpedoes because his reload is not that long. But I'm still staying bow in because I don't know if he sent preemptive torps. This is what somebody says unleash the Kraken in chat. And it's when he turns away is when I'm going to recognize the situation that he's already dropped his torps. I'm going to turn to use all my guns to get the Kraken unleashed. And now it's time for the post-battle results. I hope you guys really did enjoy this replay. Luckily for me, I had a really good result. Really good EXP, you know, just by playing to the strengths of my ships and not going out and doing something stupid. We do appreciate all the support you guys do give us. We do love the replays you send us. The email for that is in the description down below. Please remember to compliment good teamwork, good team play. We are quick to report, slow to compliment. And on that note, guys, please hit the like and subscribe button and have yourselves one heck of a great day.